Opinion piece on Bloomberg. Bloomberg said that rather than entering the race, he intends to plow his political energy and funds into other efforts to thwart Trump. With us now to discuss, Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman, who is live in our newsroom. Rick, on the one hand, not a huge surprise. On the other hand, it's still kind of a pseudo-announcement about 2020, and the field continues to grow in size.
Well, I feel happy there's one person who's actually not running for president as a Democrat. We've seen so many people piling in on the Democratic side. But look, Michael Bloomberg is smart. He's pragmatic. He will be 79 years old in 2020, or 78 years old, I guess, during the campaign season next year. And he has said before that he doesn't think he can get elected running as a liberal New Yorker trying to get votes in Ohio and the swing states that matter. So he said what he's going to do here is he's going to put his money and his political network into work trying to get Democrats elected. He's been a vocal critic of President Trump. And mainly he just wants to do what he can, I guess, to see that Trump does not get reelected in 2020.
Now, Rick, I think the obvious follow-up here would be, is Howard Schultz going to take essentially Michael Bloomberg's advice and step himself out of the race? Because I think the two of them were pretty similar candidates, successful business people who wanted to run maybe slightly left of center, but certainly very much in the center. Or does Howard Schultz, at least in your view, appear determined to see this thing at least to the debate stage?
I think Howard Schultz is determined to be a factor in this race, and I take him at his word. I mean, we should point out he has not formally said he's running for president, but I think there's actually one big difference between Howard Schultz and Michael Bloomberg. Howard Schultz has never run for office before, so this would be a novelty for him. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure, but I think Michael Bloomberg certainly is a seasoned politician who has won 3 elections for mayor of New York City. Howard Schultz has not been through that, and he kind of thinks he knows better. Howard Schultz also, I think, is looking at what happened in 2016 and saying before Trump got elected, the conventional wisdom was, a business person cannot come from the outside and win a national election. Trump proved that is not true. A business person can do it. So I think Howard Schultz seems to be thinking, yeah, I'm going to give this a shot. Whether he goes all the way to Election Day 2020 in November of next year, I think that's a different question altogether. I take him at his word, though. I think he is going to run as an independent.
Another big difference between Howard Schultz and Michael Bloomberg is about $50 billion in their net worth. And so if Bloomberg looked at this, and he can bankroll a lot more than Howard Schultz can, and everybody knows Bloomberg has been going at this with many people. If he thinks he can't win, there's really no hope that Howard Schultz could win.
Yeah, I think we should think a little more expansively about Howard Schultz, though. First of all,
you're coming around.
Well, I think he's got the long game in mind, or he could have the long game in mind anyway. So he might run as an independent for some time, but not all the way through to Election Day on in November of 2020. So he has said that if it looks as if his candidacy would actually give an advantage to President Trump, he would do something, implying that he would pull out of the race somehow. I think Howard Schultz also, I think there's a chance he could begin as an independent and somehow end up as a Democrat. He could also end up as a running mate for whoever the Democratic nominee ends up to be. So, and if he pulls out as an independent and says, I'm going to throw my support behind the Democrat, he could end up as a cabinet member in a Democratic administration in 2021 if the election should go that way. So I think there's more than just one or two ways Howard Schultz's candidacy could actually turn.
Or maybe end up as a Republican, because at this point, why not? Rick Newman joining us from our newsroom. Thanks so much.
See ya.